Let's start. Hello, everybody. Warm welcome from Uwe Beck and myself, Steffen Bernhardt speaking. I'm happy to see you here for our session. And I would say, Uwe, let's start directly with a short introduction.
Introduce you, then start with your.
So just a few words to us. It's not about us, it's about the content, but that you know what we are doing here. My name is Steffen. I'm currently in a position of Vice President Cloud Services for Mercedes-Benz and Daimler Truck within T-Systems. That means the unit I'm responsible for is serving those two customers with IT infrastructure services. It's about cloud, it's about mainframe, but it's also about, for example, Exchange and SharePoint, things like that. In total, 350 people around the world and two of the biggest customers of Deutsche Telekom, which we are serving here. And I would describe myself as servant leader, meaning doing everything to enable our teams that they can do their job at its best. Uwe, some words to you.
Thanks. In a nutshell, I've been engaged in Agile for over 10 years now, and in the tribe of Steffen, I'm responsible for the strategic project. This means driving Agile transformation and the culture and change from OKR, safe, flight levels, design thinking, and so on. Good. So then we will need about 20-25 minutes for the presentation, and then we have enough time for Q&A session. And we have also built in small interactive elements today where we will involve you today. On our prepared My Report, you will also find the option for the Q&A in form of a small lean coffee, or in our language, cool coffee, to ask your questions parallel to the presentation. I send also the link and the password in the chat in a few seconds. But you will also find it of the main area for the link to our session here. So now it's time to fly. Steffen, you as business owner, why did you decide to take the transformation path into the Agile?
Yeah, if we look what's happening around us, the world is really changing fast. And especially in the situation we were in our business, we really need to change something. So on the one hand side, it's all about transformation of the services, leaving old legacy systems and come to cloud approaches. But that also meant on our side, as we were divided in separate units, that we formed beginning of this year one cloud service unit, and we need to form one joint team. And you see here some bullet points. We have similar challenges as most of the companies and teams have around the world in the IT area. The time to market was too slow. We had partly a low moral because we lost some contracts, but on the other hand side, we needed to keep quality high because high quality is one of the major things we have to achieve, because without high quality, there will be no further contracts and no growth. And main objective of Agile Enterprise and implementing is really win new business, grow in cloud services, and have happy teams. Starting that, I can tell you, if we flip to the next slide, Uwe, we started the journey around 1.5 years ago. And the good news is you see and feel success in the organization after 18 months. We have an all-time high in customer satisfaction. We got feedback of the Chief Information Officer of Mercedes that the change is visible, that we are doing great, and that we should continue. The employees are giving feedback. It's not only about run down old legacy systems. It's now about let's talk about the future and create it together. We shifted the approach around that we do not strive for a 100% tip-top solution every time, really live a 80-20 principle. And slice the elephant in small pieces. Having things done in small pieces is much better than striving for big projects which never end. And therefore, just as an introduction, we started the journey. We can see that the change is happening and that it's a success. And therefore, I'm really driving that through the whole organization and everybody who is not contributing right now, I try to take with me on the journey.
Cool. So then our headline is Agile Enterprise within our tribe tastes like steak with potatoes and salad. And for all vegan participants here, no problem. Replace the meat steak with a vegan steak in your mind, and honestly, both versions taste good. We have tried it out. So, okay, OKR represented the main curves and are the focus of our North Stars and of our actions here. And with the objectives, where do we want to go? And the outcome defined key results with how do we measure it and we act to in the future. SAFE is our potato as side dish and give us the framework for our implementation in organizational development. And methods like systems mapping, Lego series play, technical meetings are all salad. This is our good vitamins to complement our menu. And the flight level 4 model is our basic base in sense of the blade here and the carrier between the frameworks and give us an incredible support to move the whole systems forward. So all individual taste good, but in combination, well dosed, as also in our case here, for us, a real taste explosion. So, but does the best meal taste good when the environment is dark or cold or wet? No, I think definitively not. And in the picture, in the background, you see the beautiful landscape here. And that is why the topic of servant leadership is very important to us. And we understand our servant leaders in our Flexor tribe, in the composition of the tribe, of the chapters, of the squad lead. But for me, it's also important the product owner and the scrum master is the hidden servant leader in the most of the case. And they create environments with the new mindset as front runner for our employees here. And that's why I'm so happy to have Steffen as a tribe lead at my side, who acts as a front runner as here. And Steffen, I'm sure we have 95% here Agile coaches and Agile whatever, and not so much of the servant leader. And you come here to our area, and yeah, thanks for this here. Good. Okay, then let's start with flight levels, which is also printed by Steffen or by me here on the T-shirt. And what is exactly flight levels? And flight level is a fraud model. It's help us to find out where we need to do what in our drive to achieve the expected results. And the model was developed by Klaus Leopold from Austria and described in the book Rethinking Agile. And the term flight levels come from the aviation, and in a nutshell is we have 3 flight levels. On flight level 1, you can compare this with a helicopter flight. It's 100, 150 meters above the ground, and we see the people from the helicopter, the docks, the cars, the swimming pools with high details. In our operational level in the business, this is our operational level, this is the team level, this is the delivery, where we work on incidents, on changes, on coding, scripting the software. The next level on flight level 2, we fly higher to 1,000 meters, and each year is a small airplane flight. You don't see the people, the dogs, but we see the forest, you see the villages, and the roads which connect them. And this is the coordination level end to end and also for the value streams. And named team members from level 1 come together at level 2 to make the dependencies visible and to further optimize the end-to-end value stream in front of the customer. On flight level 3, we are flying very, very high. It's 8 kilometers high in a passenger airplane, and we do not see the details anymore, but we see the big picture, like the countrysides, the city, the big lakes, the mountains, and this is our strategic level for prioritize the work into the tribe. And this is also here we define first our tribe OKRs. So these 5 activities is the visualization, the situation, create focus, establish agile interaction, measure progress, operate and improve are really necessary, important on all 3 levels and must be included in every layer. And honestly, keeping it continuous and sustainable here is the big challenge here. But this is not honestly exactly what we as Agile coaches have been well trained to do, to implement this in the organization. Cool. So then let's ask interactive now work together. Please come to our microboard Lemon and give us examples of where or how you are already active in these 5 activities in your companies or departments. So the first is coming, and trust the process. And how do you actually visualize, for example, how do you create focus in your company? How do your interaction measure or operate and improve? So then we start with visualize the situation. Yeah, sketch a whiteboard, absolutely. The process is visualized. One search of truth is Jira. Okay, yeah, it's also interesting. Yeah, the typical is the Kanban board, trying to combine views with save and explain to the hubs, trying to explain every level, absolutely. Yeah, this is absolute to visualize, and it's so important. Also, we come later to our strategy board. What we have is also we visualize on one board completely from the mission vision over the OKRs. What is the situation, and it's very helpful for all our employees. Cool, thanks. Then we go further to great focus. How we create focus. Yep, WIP limits in the Kanban boards, absolute. Great focus in the sprints, perfect. Define desirable outcomes, yeah. Define goals, absolutely. OKRs is also great. With OKRs, you create focus. That's your North Star, our North Star. Yep. So then we look a little bit
to add that one. It sounds simple, but
yep.
Prioritize. If we don't take priorities for you and the team, you get lost.
Yeah, absolutely. So then established agile interaction, dailies, yeah, retrospective. This is the typical interactions here, even waterfall meetings, focus on action, talk with each other, meeting structure, tactical meetings, we come later, talk with each other. Yeah, it's also simple, absolutely. So then measure the progress. Yeah, Matrixen, e.g. is also then OKRs. You see a lot of OKRs have information indicators for your defined matrix. Yeah, talk about it. There's also on this value customer increased. Yeah. And the last is operate and improve. Retro, redesign, retros. Yeah, that is also important. And then the circle is, in the circle is coming on. Thanks for the first interactive session here. And when you have questions, we see a lot of questions here. You can directly here in the Q&A in the parallel time of the presentation. So then back to the presentation. Cool. Yeah, then Steffen, then let's take a closer look at all three levels within our tribe. Yeah, Steffen, hand over.
What you can see here is how we designed right now the flight levels for our tribe Mercedes-Benz and Daimler Truck. As you may know, there are different flight levels, and that is the one I'm responsible for, meaning on the top, on level 3, it's my area as the overall leader for the tribe. On level 2, you see the coordination elements, and on level 1, you see the respective teams. And if you look to the picture, you see there is a line in the middle, and it's 2 parts. If we start with the right-hand part, that is our day-to-day business. So we have current contracts with our customers. We need to fulfill them, have SLAs, but also think about how can we cross and upsell. What are our customers expecting tomorrow and the day after tomorrow from us for the current contracts, and think about the development of the contracts. On the left-hand side, you see the strategic work. We implemented the SAFE framework last year or beginning of this year. We had the first PI planning, and here we set our focus on what are the most important things we need to do in the next 4 months to be ready for the day tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So it's really about strategic work. We will come to that topics later in detail, and really align the organization to be fit for the future. And if you see the lines, there are some black ones and some red ones. We started to develop that view, and here you see why visualization is so important. We have lots of meetings, lots of tools we are using, and we have some good connections and collaboration, but we also saw that we are lacking in some parts. We are lacking, for example, between daily business and the teams who are taking care on the future. We are lacking in the alignment with other units, for example, portfolio development. And now we want to achieve that we come closer together, and implementing that flight level model and visualizing it is really helpful to see everything on one piece of paper and then start to improve the process.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then we go a little more deeper then with the 3 examples of level 3, level 1, and level 2 for better understanding how it interacts in not of paperwork or PowerPoint, how it really acts in the daily. So, and we start with the flight level 3 with our strategic board. And remember, flight level 3 is very flying very high. It's the big picture, the strategic. And every 3 and 4 months, we meet with selected employees to update our strategy board. And in doing so, we look at our big picture, starting with our mission and vision, and break it down to the years and to the quarter objectives, to the objectives and key results. And last time, it's also we were sharing with you here is we have found a good Miro template for this year. Is the link. The link is also on the Miro board with the system mapping toolkit in Miroverse, and we combine this virtually with grabbing with a Lego series play. And for me, what's very to see, okay, the combination virtually also, not virtually, but only on the Miro board in combination then with Lego series was very helpful. And you see here the team, but first I will go to the past. And in the past, the boss or maybe 2 or 3 other bosses would hide in a room and develop the future for themselves. And which the results they confront the direct executives or the employees with orders to implement them, command control. And the why was seldom explained. So we do it now differently now. The structure from the product management team consists a mixed team. You see here on the picture architects, sales, SDM, squad chapter leads, and in the next round, also in December, we have a wildcard for employee. And with the methods of system thinking and Lego Serious Play, the program backlog was created, and our objectives for our PI planning 4 weeks ago worked out. So, Steffen, please describe shortly our objectives for the next 4 months in our tribe.
Yeah. You see on the right-hand side, we choose 4 topics which we are concentrating on. The first one is around skill. We need on the one hand side a clear picture. Which skills do we have in the team? Where do we see gaps? But most important, which skills are the clients demanding in the future and how do we ramp them up? The second one, as in all big companies, culture and mindset. That is, from my point of view, the most important thing which we need to drive forward. And I see it in other companies as well. And the target we set us was we want to be the most desirable place to work. So the people should say it's so cool to work within that tribe because they hear only the good stories of us. The third one is value stream, coming really from the direction of the clients. What are their business problems? How can we help them to solve their problems and then at the end of the day earn money with it? The fourth one is called operational knowledge and toolbox. It's about transforming the old legacy world in a new world. So what do we need to do, for example, to bring a mainframe application to an Azure cloud? How can we automate the services to a higher extent than in the past? And the last one in gray is about orchestration, we called it. It's my leadership work to empower the employees. So I need some faster decision ways, because if a squad lead or a product owner who is the expert is saying we need to go in that direction, then we should go in that direction and not start 25 PowerPoint presentations and management boards to say, okay, let's move in that direction. And that's the main focus here in that topic.
Cool. Thanks, Steffen.
If we look a little bit deeper, how we implemented that now in our day-to-day work, and now you see the puzzle pieces which we showed you in the last 5 slides are coming together. We have a management meeting every 2 weeks, and we split it up. Once a month, it's about day-to-day business. So what are the major topics we are having right now? Are there any issues which we need to solve? And it's about exchange between the squads. And in every meeting, we have here with us the product owners and scrum masters out of the strategic work in the second block, who say what are they are working on right now, which impediments do they have, where do they need help. So bringing all people who work on the right and on the left hand side, you saw on the flight level model, together for 2 hours in a virtual room and talk about the topics. And last not least, what you see on the bottom, the so-called suspense agenda, that's all topics which come up over the last 2 weeks or during the meeting, and we need to discuss.
Yeah.
And every second week or every second meeting, so also once a month, it's about strategy. So here we are looking on what is the mid and long-term vision of each squad. How do we want to develop our service? Which issues did we identify? What did we do in the last 4 weeks to solve them? And what do we want to do in the next 4 weeks to achieve even more? And you see here those OneNotes, which are our documented structure for the meeting, but in the background, it's everything steered with objectives and key results in a Kanban board and with Microsoft Planner in a Kanban board, that we have all the details and can work together seamlessly.
Yeah, Steffen, if you compare your long meetings with discussion and KPI reporting and content 1 year ago and now today, so what has it changed with the new format of the tactical meeting or sync meeting? We see small time slots here. No?
Yeah, it's really about giving a status, concentrate on the most important things, and not telling 20 minutes what everybody already know.
Absolutely. And helpful. And our best friend here is Elmo. Enough, let's move on. Just putting Elmo in the middle of a meeting room or workshops or show him in videos from WebEx session here, for me as facilitator performs really wonder. So, and short question to all here, to the 25 participants. Do you already use Elmo, and give us once briefly in WebEx with an emotion button, thumbs up or down? Do you Elmo? Yeah, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, welcome to the Elmo Club. Absolutely, thanks. Good, then we go further. Flight level routes, yeah. And let's use an example of the safe cadence to visualize the flight routes between level 1 and level 3. And after PI planning, the team split up and work on their user stories on level 1. No? In B-weeklies, stand-ups, what we heard from Steffen, we come together, the product owner, scrum master, business owner, meet on level 2 and discuss delays, obstacles to clear them out of the way. And after the iteration, they come together in a systems demo and show their results, their process. And we're looking also then to the OKR, no? And also in the next steps, any dependencies to other teams. And about in the middle, we meet as product management team on level 3 to prioritize the topics and update the strategy board and define our OKRs for the next safe pattern. And these 5 activities are mirrored here again and again. So then, when you are dealing with change management, and this pyramid comes into play right at the beginning here. So many studies show a clear results. Every sustainable changes begins on the level of emotion, at the basic for everything else. And unfortunately, in our company, and I'm sure other companies also, we are very, very strong on the level content, no? And frameworks or whatever, no? And ask ourselves very often, why the hell does not change the mindset of the colleagues? No? Why don't our colleagues accept the change? And honestly, OKRs, safe flight levels are really, really big changes in the company. So here are some safe PI planning pictures from last month in Budapest to show that it can be done differently. And look into the phases, how a few Agile elements create great emotions. So after 3 days PI planning, coming evenings in Budapest and some local schnapps called Palinka, we stretched our headline a little to Agile enterprise within our tribe tastes like steak with potato salad and with palinka for the emotions. And in summary, Agile enterprise or agility is not the organization, is not having many Agile teams. Organizational agility is about having Agile interaction between the teams. And so we come to the last slide, Steffen.
Yeah, let me add one sentence. We all got used to working virtual, and I'm really thankful of having tools like Miro and things like that we can do it. But at some point in time, it's super important to come together with the people, sit in one room and drink a beer in the evening. And I encourage you all, as Agile coach, as Scrum Master, as leader, whatever your position is, to fight for those elements. It's not about having a nice travel every week. It's about coming together when it's important, once a half year or things like that.
Absolutely.
The last slide here is the next evolution, and it's the slogan I gave the entire organization, and it fits really well in everything what we showed here. And I hope you take something with you, because I know out of the experience the last 18 months, it's super hard to push all those agility topics in the organization. And you have to fight against resistance. People are telling you it's bullshit, we never needed it, and it only costs money and there is no outcome. Remember the second slide I showed, that we get valuable feedback from our clients? I can tell you, if I look to the numbers, we are doing really great. And that is giving me some backwind. As long as numbers are great, it's easy. But my slogan is, first of all, you need to have a dream and dream big. Second of all, you need to be convinced. Believe in what you are dreaming. And third and most important, just do it. And that is applying to each and every level. Don't ask for 10,000 permissions. If you are convinced that you are doing the right thing, just do it. And if there is a failure, my God, there is a failure. I'm making failures as well every week. Does the world continue to throw? Yes, it does. So that's super normal. It's important to see that you made a failure, do it better next time, but it's okay. And at the end of the day, everybody is responsible that we are creating our future. And I'm convinced with everything we put now on the way that we are on a good track to be a relevant player for our clients and for other ones in the future. And ending with that, now we are ready for your questions, and we hope you enjoyed the fly with us.
Absolutely. So then we look to our Q&A board, and wow, we have a lot of questions. And then please, this is the format of a lean coffee, with the most of the likes here of the smileys, we can also discuss them. So then read the questions and give a click directly on the smiley, and then it's counted up. So we have here 2, 3, 4. I think this is one of the most. Then, yeah, for when you click, one of you is directly blocked the card, so I cannot. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Then
but let's start with that one.
Yep.
As I explained, we started now the flight level model on level 1 with my responsibility for the whole tribe. Next step is, and there is a workshop, I think tomorrow, that we implement the same model on a squad level, meaning what is now level 3 in my flight model is then level 1 for the squad, and we are putting it down to the downest delivery teams we have around the world. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, great. Thank you very much, because it's for sure very important to start where you had started.
Yeah, absolutely. So Steffen, the next is now here is how the customer involved Agile.
Yeah, to be honest, that's a difficult story sometimes. We have good and bad examples. We have contracts where we are really in the old world. It's about a monthly service management meeting, looking on the SLAs, looking on the invoice, and that's it. And we have another example where we do a PI planning. Now the second one, together with the customers, product owners on both sides of the wall, I would say, on both sides of the table, from the customer and from us, and we are really developing an end-to-end service together. So it's everything what is possible from left to right.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
Uwe is my let's say, bad cop who is always saying, come from the customer, bring the customer to the table. If you build a POC, ask the customer immediately if it's that what he is expecting, and we are trying to push that to a higher extent than in the past.
And it was also a learning curve from the squads and whatever. And we have 2-3 design thinking workshops now. Who not directly involve the customer, but we have quality checks where we involve the customer on the steps in design thinking. No?
Yeah.
I think this is
Yeah, I was asking that because working agile on the working level base has more impact. For example, on contract, for example, on budget, and so on. There are many impacts.
Absolutely. Okay.
Do you think it might be a good idea to integrate the customer directly into the documentation of your meetings? Like, what impact does this have on the customer?
Yeah, a good one. My only concern is when it's about strategy, how to attack competition, or about issues in our contracts, we need to be careful. So for that one, we need an internal and an external version. But fair feedback. I take that with me. Thanks for that one.
Okay. So then 5 minutes left. The 3, how do you connect the information in the different tools? Miro, MS Planner, OneNote. Yep. With links, no, with hyperlinks in the most of the case. When we look to, but it's more for internal. We cannot show our strategy board, and we have in Miro one strategy board with the clear mission and vision, and what is the mid-goal strategy, and also then the links to the Kanban boards. So we have one board, and it's linked to internal links, no? And so we connected the information between it, and this is one of the flight level. Bring all together on one to the Kanban boards, no? What we shown on the picture, no? And this is our solution currently. We have one big Miro board with a lot of links to the Kanban boards, but we have on a single point of contact in Miro.
And one open feedback to that, and it pays into making failures. For example, my intention was having the old way, talking about the midterm strategy of each squad and having a PowerPoint and update it every 4 weeks. We skipped it away last week and said, that's bullshit, it's double work. Let's do it in the Kanban board, which is already existing with regards to the OKRs. So that's a little bit tricky with having all those tools to avoid double work and do it in the tool which fits best.
Yeah. Okay. Write the cards. Forward cards. So then I look also not when we have 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, then we can further with the 2 here. So if there one overall PU established, it's in our case is a release train engineer for the safe, and also me too for the squad for the strategic lead, no? And I think it's today we have minimum half hour to 1 hour together, the business owner and I, to what is good, what is not so good. And when you said is a one overall PO, we called it's the RTA, or also in our case is the squad lead Uwe Beck for strategic projects. Yeah. Okay.
I grabbed one card because I'd like to share that.
Doing. Yeah.
The simple answer is yes. When we were in Leinfelden and made the first time Lego Serious Play, and others saw it on a LinkedIn post, there were several people who asked me and still asked, do you play Lego today or do you want to work? And know what? I'm giving a fucking shit on it because it really helped us in the process. But that's what sometimes is frustrating me. I see that people want to try new things independently on their level, but there are more people who are telling you are going the right way. And if you don't have a leader who is pushing it, every action will fail. And that's what I'm really fighting for. Try out new things, give it a chance. And if we experienced that Lego Serious Play didn't help, we would skip it away. But if you don't try it, you will never find out. And therefore, I can encourage you, don't care about what the others say, just do the right things.
Absolutely. Okay, so I see we have 1 minute left. Then we come to the end.
Anyway, that's a hard job.
Yeah.
But you both really made my day, because now I'm experienced. Really, there are people in our company who are doing it. Yeah.
Great.
Servant leader, no?
Yes. I'm so glad.
Absolutely, Babette. Then we come to the end here in the feedback, and you see it at the right corner with the frogs here. You can also provide a card, but you can also grab a frog and bring it to the whole field. Choose a frog and position of the left side in the picture. The better the mood, the higher the frog climbs to the sun, whatever. It's also very nice check-in for whatever. Yeah. Then thanks in the round.
Yeah, would be happy for any feedback. I will answer the questions which we didn't answer on the Miro board directly with sticky notes beneath it. So you can read it in half an hour, something like that.
Great.
I hope you took something with you. If you have any further questions, reach out to Uwe or myself. We are happy to support as good as we can.
Okay. Thanks in a round.
Okay, thank you very much. Great session.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
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 Yeah, thank you. Very insightful.